Hey girl, hey. So welcome back to my channel. I've been wanting to tell this for a while. Well, this video is a story time. I've been wanting to tell a story for a while, but I knew it was not gonna be received well. But I'm gonna tell it anyway because yeah. So this story takes place when I was 22. Yeah, I was 22, and I met this guy. We're gonna call him Kevin because I don't know a good person named Kevin, so his name is Kevin today. So I met Kevin at the gym, and he was cute. You know, he wasn't ugly. Of course he wasn't ugly. I'm not gonna talk to somebody that's ugly, but he was cute or whatever. And we hit it off real nice in the beginning. Everything seemed to be going well. He was a little bit older than me, so I was 22, he was 31, so he was like 9 years older than me, which there was really no issue because it was nothing serious. So we met at the gym, and he I don't know how to describe him, but he was handsome. Playing Call of Duty. But he was handsome. He was like medium build. Like he looked like he worked out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So met him, and we didn't really we never went out on a date. And I thought that was kind of weird, but also like not really. I don't know, like so we never went on a date, and I always thought that was strange. So like I would go and hang out like with my friends and stuff, and then like I would see him afterwards. Like we would just like meet up somewhere, like sit, grab a drink, talk, that type of stuff. But we never like actually formally like went out on a date. So I guess because we would like meet up after I was hanging out with my friends and stuff, that's why I wasn't tripping about us never going out on a date. Because like I would see him, like we would be out in public from time to time. Like I went with him once to get his hair cut, like stuff like that. So like you don't think nothing of it whenever y'all not going on a date, you know what I'm saying? Because I went with this man to get his hair cut. Like I saw him every day. We talked consistently throughout the day. I got good morning texts, good night texts. Like I wasn't thinking anything of it. So let's see. So I have to mention it, but Kevin is a Libra, and I am also a Libra. So we were alike in a whole lot of ways, and the ways that we were alike, I didn't like that because I didn't like that at all. Because I'm very, I don't want to say sneaky, but I'm sneaky. So I didn't know that he was sneaky too. So let's backtrack. So we were hanging out one night. I had just went out with my friends, and we were like hanging out, and I was like scrolling on Instagram because like we were just hanging out. Like we were in the car and just doing stuff, and I was on Instagram. So I was like swiping through stuff, and like I didn't mind. He was like looking at my phone as I was swiping, and it was somebody that I followed that had on like a really cute pair of Gucci slides. So I forgot to mention, but this man has money, okay? He has a lot of, not well, he makes six figures, I'll say that. So that's not the reason why I was with him. If that, like, he used to like he would bring food to my job. He would always make sure I had, like, you know, gas, and he would make sure that, like, my nails were done. He would make sure that my hair was kept up. So, like, he was making sure that I was taken care of, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he had a disposable income, so he didn't mind spending on me what he had. Like, you know, it's probably, my nails cost like maybe $60. My toes are another like $35-40. So it's nothing for him to give me $100 every 2 weeks to go get my nails and toes done. Like, that was no problem. He made sure, like, whenever he would whenever I would see him at the gym, because we had like similar workout schedules, so whenever I would see him at the gym, he would always ask me like, hey, did you like, do you have plans on what you gonna eat tonight? And I'll be like, oh yeah, I cooked earlier, so, you know, I have food at the house, I'm good. But if I said, no, I'm gonna just run to the store and grab something to cook and I'll be fine, and he'll be like, no, what you in the mood to eat? But I would never say, like, because I literally just finished working out, so I would just go to like Chipotle or Chick-fil-A or something like that. So again, it was nothing for him to give me like $10-20 to go get dinner and whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? So again, not thinking nothing of it, because this man is taking care of me. So now back to the car thing. So we sit in a car, and I was on Instagram, and I noticed that, like, when I was, like, I had a thing when I was younger. I don't do it as much now, but when I was younger and I knew I wasn't trying to settle down with somebody, I would never, like, take pictures with them. It was straight Wizard Kelly pictures. Like, I would not take pictures with them. If I did post something, I would just post, like, maybe, like, a text message screenshot, or, like a picture of their arm if they didn't have any tattoos, or like if they were easily identified, I would not post it. And he had a car that was like, not that many people drove the car that he had, so it would be very easy to like narrow it down. So I never posted pictures of his car. He had like distinct items that he would always walk around with, like designer backpacks, designer duffel bags, like some designer shoes and stuff like that. And I come from a somewhat small city, not New Orleans, but my actual hometown. So like, I come from a somewhat small city, and in that city, if you see, like, at this time, this was like, I'm 27, I'm almost 27, Lord. So this was like 4 or 5 years ago. So this is before like the whole designer wave and black luxury and all that stuff kicked off. So if I were to post like a pair of the shoes that he had on or the car that he drove, people would have instantly knew who I was with. So I don't like people in my business like that. And because I don't like people in my business like that, I just kept it to a minimum. Like, if I was recording a video of myself and he was like talking in the background, I would mute the video, because I didn't want anybody to hear his voice and be like, oh girl, that sound like Kevin, or is that Kevin? You know, stuff like that. So the only people that knew I was messing with Kevin was my best friend. That's it. I lied. My best friend and one of my coworkers. They were the only two people that knew I was messing with Kevin. And that's because we would always go out, and we were going out, like, sometimes we would carpool. Like, this is when I was in college. Well, I had just dropped out of college. So we would like all drive on campus together, and we would just like get into one car and go. So usually we would like rock, paper, scissors to see who the designated driver was gonna be. And then at the end of the night, whenever they would be like, you know, we about to leave to go back on campus, I would be like, oh, don't worry about it. Kevin coming to get me, he gonna bring me back to my car, you know, stuff like that. So they knew, and they had met Kevin before. They knew who Kevin was. We all trusted Kevin. They knew that I was in good hands. So it was no issue. So I would be like, oh, you know, Kevin actually up the street right now, he finna come and get me. So we would sit there, wait for him to show up. You know, he would say hey to everybody, he would say bye to everybody, and then we would get in the car, go do what we was gonna do, go for a little G ride or whatever, and then at the end of the night he would take me back to my car and I would just go home. So I'm scrolling on Instagram and I saw like the cutest pair of Gucci slides, and I wanted them. So I was scrolling and I saw the picture of one of the little like Instagram models, influencers, like whatever you want to call them, and they had on the Gucci slides, and I was like, oh, these are so cute. And so Kevin's like, you want them? I sure do. So I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, what size? So I was like, I'm a size 39.5, like 38.5, 39.5, because you know those are European shoes, so the sizes are different. And if I would have told him I wear a size 7, he would have brought me back the wrong pair, or he would have brought me back the wrong size. So I told him, I was like, yeah, you know, like a 38.5 or 39.5. But I told him to get a gift receipt so that if the shoes were too big or too small, I can just take them back to, we have a Saks here in New Orleans that he was going to get them from. So I was like, just get a gift receipt so that if I have to take them back to Saks for being too big or too small, it's fine. He was like, all right, bet. I'm supposed to be going to the city. We call New Orleans the city. So he was like, I'm gonna be going to the city this weekend or next weekend, because this was on like a Saturday. So he was like, I'm going to the city next weekend. I gotta go get something from Saks anyway, so I'm gonna go in there and get your shoes too. And when I see you on whatever day next week, like that Monday or Tuesday, he was like, I'll give them to you then. So I'm like, okay, babe, thanks. So I had no reason to doubt that he was not gonna, you know, buy the shoes for me, because again, the shoes were like, the slides might have been like $120. He didn't gave me like more. This is how long ago that was. The slides back then were like $120. Now they're like over 200. So, you know, he was giving me $100 every 2 weeks to get my nails done. So it was nothing for him to buy me a pair of $120 slides. Like, I'm not thinking nothing of it. So he went to the city that weekend, and he texted me while he was at Saks, and he was like, what color? So I was like, what colors do they have? And I think they had like red, white, pink, and black. So I told him just give me either the white ones or the pink ones, whichever one had my size. And he was like, all right, bet, I got you. So he took a picture of the slide and he sent it to me, and he was like, this cool? And it was the pink one. And I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect, thank you. So I'm assuming he went and picked up whatever he had to go get from there, and then he got the slides, because he sent me the picture of him when he was at Saks. So he literally sent me the picture. And before y'all even start, it was not like no picture on the internet or nothing. Like, the shoe was in his hand, his tattoo was in the picture, so I knew that he was, not that I had a reason to doubt him, but I knew that he was taking the picture of the slide. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna get them and I'm gonna bring them to you like Tuesday or Wednesday. Cool. And that was that Saturday. So Sunday was like I was doing something with my family, so like I didn't really like check in with him like that. And then Monday, talked to him like a little bit, and he was like, he was busy at work because he has like one of those important jobs that I'm not gonna say. So he was always busy. So he would, like, we would text throughout the day, but then like he would call me like on his way home or something like that. So something simple. So he had a busy day Monday, and then I think he was the last person to text me back that Monday, and I had a lot going on. So Tuesday I texted him good morning, went to work, did everything I was doing, and then I thought about it. I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be meeting up with him today to get my shoes from him. So check my phone, I had no messages from him. Weird. So I was like, oh, okay, well, he probably just got tied up at work again. So Tuesday night, no good night text, no nothing. No response to the good morning text, nothing. So I'm like, okay, he had a really busy day. Wednesday comes. I'm not a double texter, so I didn't text him again. So I was like, well, maybe he'll text me good morning Wednesday. So wake up, go to work, no text. He did say Tuesday or Wednesday I will be getting my stuff from him, and I just didn't hear nothing. So Wednesday passed, no good morning text, no what you doing text, no good night text, nothing. Thursday, same thing. Friday, same thing. Saturday, Sunday, the next Monday, same thing. So I ended up seeing him like the following, not the, like the day I was supposed to meet up with him was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I ended up seeing him like the following Tuesday or Wednesday. And this is when things get a little strange. So this man told me that he left my shoes in his car while he was at the whatever he was at, like he was at the gas station. He ran inside to get something or something like that. And he said while he was in there, somebody broke into his car and took my slides. Okay. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, oh, it's cool. You know, it is what it is. It's cool. So he was like, oh no, I just didn't want you to think that like I didn't get them for you, because I did get them. It was probably my fault because I just left them like in the bag that came from Saks. So they probably, you know, saw it when I went inside. I didn't lock my doors because I was just running in, getting something, coming back out, and I wasn't thinking nothing of it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, nah, boo, it's cool. You good, you good. So I'm more upset at the fact that I haven't heard from him in a week than not getting my shoes. So I just like casually brought it up, and I was like, you must have had a very busy week last week. And he was like, oh no, I was out of town. I was like, out of town? And you couldn't like text me and let me know you was out of town? And he was like, oh no, I was out the country. Like I was like out of town. And I was like, oh, okay. So like, I'm just making conversation. I'm like, oh, where you went? He was like, oh, I went to Mexico, just like a little vacation because work was stressing me out. So, you know, I just turned my phone off. He was like, I should have texted you, I'm sorry. But I turned my phone off, took a couple of days just to myself, and went out to Mexico, sat on the beach, you know, shit like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm not tripping. I was like, oh, you could have just told me. That's cool. And that was it. That was cool. Everything was fine. So he was like, yeah, well, let me finish my workout and I'll catch up with you before I leave and we'll talk a little bit and blah, blah, blah. So he working out, I'm working out. He working out, I'm working out. So you know how like you'll be in the same room as like somebody and like you won't be staring at them, but you'll like kind of glance over to them a little bit and stuff. So that's how we were. Like I would glance over at him and he'll be looking at me, so I'll like wink or wave or something like that. He'll do the same and it will just continue doing what he was doing. So this is not like, it's not often, it's just like every once in a while. Like it might happen twice during the whole workout. So because I can feel when people are looking at me, so if I could feel when he was looking at me, I would like look over in his direction and he'll be looking at me like waiting for me to look at him. So that's the type of thing it was. It was just something real cute. So same thing happened. Like I looked over at him because I felt him looking at me and he was looking at me. So like he did like a little wink and I was like, and you know, continuing my workout. So maybe about like 20 minutes later, I felt him look at me and then I didn't feel him looking at me, if that makes sense. It sounds weird, but like, you know how you can feel when somebody looking at you and then when you look at them, they wasn't looking at you, and it's like that, like you know that they not staring at you or something. So like I could feel him look at me and then I could feel that I wasn't being looked at no more. So I thought that was the signal, like he's staring at me so that he can like wave at me or something. So when I felt it, I looked up like in his direction and it was a woman that was like standing there talking to him. And the weird thing was, it wasn't like, she wasn't in gym attire. Like, she was in regular clothes. Like, looked like she had like just got off work or something. Like, she was in like business casual clothes, which is strange to be in the gym in business casual clothes. You know what I'm saying? So like, I looked a little bit and I was like, oh, maybe that's just somebody he know. I don't know. Like, not my man, not my problem. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. So I looked over, like after a few minutes, I kind of looked over in his direction again, and I ain't see him no more. And I ain't see the lady no more either. But when I looked towards the door, I saw like her and him walking outside. So not thinking nothing of it. Everything's cool. And I just finished my workout because I'm like, girl, that's not your man. Don't worry about it. You tripping. So finishing my workout and everything. And once I'm wrapping it up, I didn't finish stretching and stuff. I'm getting ready to like get in my car and go home. Because at this point, I figured he done left. So he not about to talk to me about nothing. So I went to the locker room and got my duffel bag. And when I was walking back out, he was walking like in my direction. And he was like, hey, where you going? And I was like, oh, I'm finna go home. I finished my workout. And he was like, oh, I got 3 more sets of whatever to do. And then I'll walk you to your car so we can talk a little bit, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Hey.
What you doing?
Filming. Stop.
Oh, put it in the ponytail.
No.
Pigtails.
No.
Pigtails.
No.
One pigtail.
No. Stop. Stop.
Mine.
No, it's mine. Go get yours, crackhead. You just came to bother me.
Yeah.
Okay, he just sat down. Because, girl, baby, he be hustling. So, anyway, which is stupid because he subscribed to my channel. So, back to the story. So, he was like, I got 3 more sets and then I'll come and, like, walk you out to your car. So, I'm like, okay, cool. So, I'm just, you know, hanging around, not doing too much of nothing. Just sitting there, playing games on my phone, stuff like that. And then he had came over to me. He was like, all right, I'm done. You ready to go? I was like, yeah, let's go. So walk outside to the car and I unlocked my doors. And then he like reached for the door handle to like open my car door. And when he reached for my handle to open my car door, he opened it like with his left hand. And I saw a wedding band on his hand. So I'm trying to be real slick about it. And I was like, that's a nice ring. And he looked at it. He was like, oh, thank you. And ain't say nothing. So I got in the car. Not thinking, like, I'm still like a little taken aback by what just happened. So I sit down in the car. And he's like, you gonna text me when you get home? And the way I'm looking at him, like, he got like a little smirk in his eye. Like, he got like a little smirk and he got like this look in his eye. Like, what you gonna do? Like, are you gonna continue to like fuck with me or not? That's the vibe I was getting just off of his gaze. So he was like, so you gonna text me when you get home? And I was like, I'll think about it. And he was like, oh, it's like that? I was like, maybe. And then he was like, yeah, all right, just let me know when you make it home. And he leaned in to kiss me, and when he did that, I turned my head. So he was like, drive safe, boo. And I was like, okay, cool. So he closed the door, drove off, went home. I did not text him. Because I was upset because, like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So the whole time I was at home, I was just sitting there like, this nigga married. I can't believe it. But the crazy part was, like, I know this man first and last name, date of birth, email address, or whatever information I need to know. Everything but the social, baby. I know everything about him. So I was like, something told me, like, it was something in the back of my mind. I was like, girl, go on Facebook. Because, like, I never use Facebook for nothing unless I'm being nosy. So something told me was like, go on Facebook. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Went on Facebook, typed in his first and last name, And boom, he popped right on up. So I'm like, look at Mr. Kevin Smith. I'm not gonna say that. I was like, yeah, look at Mr. Kevin over here. And it was just like a regular like picture of him. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you know how like on Facebook you have the ability to like block certain stuff off and make certain stuff public for people to see? Well, let me tell you what was public. Name was public, photos was public, relationship status was public, and it did say married, but it didn't have like the person he was married to. It just said married. That's it. Had his birthday on there, his religious beliefs, political background, Democrat, Baptist, all that stuff is on there. And so I saw like my eyes dead locked on Mary, and I was like, wow. So then I saw life events. So I clicked life events. And when I went down life events, I saw like the day that he got married. Y'all, this man had been married for like 5 years. Like dead ass, he had been married for 5 years. And I had no idea. So I'm going through like the I was going through like the life events and stuff, and then it wasn't that much on there. It was like the day he graduated high school, the day he graduated from this, the day he started doing this job or started doing that job, you know, stuff like that. So I was like, the life events, they gave what it needed to give. Let's go to the photos. If I could go back in time, I would not go through the photos. I would not go through the photos, because not only was this man married, he was a father. He was a husband and a father. This man had 2 kids. 2 girls. And y'all, when I saw like the little family picture, my jaw dropped. But my jaw dropped for multiple reasons. Because the family picture was from like one of those days that I didn't see him. And the one thing that he wasn't lying about was going to Mexico. He did go to Mexico, but when he went to Mexico, it was a fucking family vacation. It was a family vacation. It was him, it was his wife, it was his 2 kids. They had like other people. I don't know how they was related. I don't know if it was brothers and sisters and family friends and all that shit, but it was like a group of people. I don't know if they took a cruise. I don't know if they flew out there. I don't know how they got out there, but I know it was him, his wife, and their 2 kids. And my heart fell to my ass, because I was like, wow. Because it's like you were honest about one thing, but you lied about everything else. And a lie by omission is still a lie. It's still a lie. So it gets worse, because they were taking like their pictures, like their family pictures was like in front of like the whatever they was in stand, like the I think they was in Cancun. So they was taking pictures in front of like the little Cancun sign. And when I was looking at the family pictures, something caught my eye. And so I zoomed in. The same slides that he was going to buy me, or that he was going to give me, his wife was wearing them. I don't know if me and sis was the same shoe size. I don't know if she was with him whenever they were buying all the stuff. Baby, I don't know. But I know she had on my slides. And when I saw that, I was just like, that was low. That was real low. And I was so hurt. Like I wasn't hurt behind the slides. I was hurt because I had got lied to, and because me and dude had been kicking it for a minute. Like we had been kicking it for a minute. And it wasn't like we had been kicking it for like a year, but we also hadn't been kicking it for like 3 weeks either. Like this was like months invested. And it's the principle of it. Like no, I wasn't looking for like a serious long-term relationship at the time, but it's like you still lied about that. You did not have to lie about that, because the thing is, I'm not, this gonna sound so bad. Kevin ain't say shit. And it's like, if he would have told me from the beginning that he was married, I would have handled everything just a little bit different. Like, not even a little bit different, a whole lot of bit different. And when I say a whole lot of bit different, I mean I would have had niggas on the side. I would not have been hanging out with him in public places. I would not have been going with him to the barbershop. I would not have been taking G-rides with this man at 11 o'clock at night. And it's like, it was just, I would have never suspected that he was married, because like we would hang out like at night. Club closed at 2. He outside in the parking lot at 1:45 to pick me up so that we can go ride around town, so I can sober up, so that I can be able to drive home and stuff. Like all types of stuff like that. I mean, the only thing that we really didn't do, like I had never been to his house. We had only done the do like twice, but that was it. Like it was nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like it was nothing serious, but I would have definitely did things a whole lot different if he had just been honest with me from the beginning. And it's like, he took my choice away. He did. He took my choice away. Because if he had let me choose, things would have went a whole lot differently. I probably wouldn't have been texting him consistently throughout the day. I probably wouldn't have been talking on the phone with him at 10 o'clock at night. You know, like I would have just done things differently. But he didn't give me that option, and that kind of pissed me off. So it kind of made me mad. Like I was already mad that he lied to me about being married, because it's like, you mean to tell me that every time I was like pulling up on you, you was taking your ring off and putting it in your pocket or something? Like it just seemed, it's just real sneaky. I didn't like that. So we ended up, like he ended up, because I was ignoring him. And I didn't want to talk to him because I was pissed off. So I was avoiding him. Like I didn't even go to the gym. I just went and like ran the lakes at LSU because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it at all. I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't block his number, which is strange, but I just didn't want to talk to him. So I started running the lakes. I wasn't responding to like text messages, phone calls. Like he would call me and I wouldn't even decline it. I would just let the phone ring and go straight to voicemail so that he would think I was doing something and I was busy. Because, baby, if I would have declined it, he would have knew I was ignoring him. But I wanted to make his mind wonder, just like he made my mind wonder. So, you know, you go low, I go underneath you. But he ended up catching me one day. He called me one day. I was at the mall. I was buying something, but it was something that I needed to go to the mall for. And he just so happened to be at the mall. So he was alone. He was alone. From what I think, he was alone. So I was coming out of one of the stores and he was like walking past and he saw me and he like, you know, came and walked up on me and was like, "Hey, how you been?" And I was like, "Oh, I've been good. What's up?" And he was like, "You not excited to see me?" And I was like, not really, because you know you lied to me about a whole lot. Y'all know this man had the nerve to say, "What did I lie to you about?" And I was like, "Kevin, are you serious right now?" And he was like, "No, let's be for real, let's talk about it." And he was like, "What did I lie to you about?" And I was like, I don't even have the patience to do this right now. And this man knows my weaknesses. And he was like, "Come on, let's talk about it. Let's go to Starbucks, get something to drink, get you something to eat. We can sit down and we can talk about it." So we ended up talking about it. All it took was a white mocha for me to talk. So we sitting at the table and he was like, "Okay, now back to the conversation. What did I lie to you about?" And I told him, I was like, "You lied to me about being married." And he was like, "I never lied to you about being married." And I was like, "Yes, you did." And this man leaned on the table, like, you know how men be putting their, like, their arms on the table and leaning forward? He did that. He leaned forward and he was like, "Bug," because my nickname is Doodlebug, so he just used to call me Bug. So he was like, "Bug, when did you ever ask me if I was married for me to lie to you and tell you no, I wasn't married?" I could have threw that hot mocha in his face. I could have threw that white mocha in his face. I was so mad because he was right. He was right. I never asked. So I was befuddled. I was dumbfounded. I felt bamboozled, whatever you want to call it. I felt stupid as hell. Like, he had the ability to make me feel so stupid in that moment, and I don't know how it happened. Like, I guess because it's a Libra thing. We know how to do shit like that. But he literally looked me in my face and was like, "Bug, when did you ever ask me if I was married?" And I couldn't say nothing. And he was like, "So I didn't lie to you. So why you mad at me?" So I know what all of y'all thinking right now, that I got up and walked away. And I'm ashamed to say that I did not, because he was absolutely right. And because if he wasn't gonna cheat with me, he was gonna cheat with somebody else. So fuck it, why not? No, I'm just joking. I did continue to see him though, but we ain't do no more. And whenever we hung out, we didn't talk like consistently throughout the day like we used to. I did like stop going to the gym. I started running the lakes and everything, and I just kind of tried to avoid him to like get over the situation. Like, I slowly cut back on talking to him, and then eventually we just, one day, one of us just never texted back, and that was the end of it. But that was the worst experience. I'm not gonna sit here in front like I didn't like dude. Like, I did like him. I mean, he was taking care of me. He made sure I had not just the basics, but the stuff that I would have liked to have too. Your ass don't want nothing.
What you doing?
Wrapping up this video.
Alright.
So after the mall incident, we may have talked for like maybe like 3 weeks after that, but it took 3 weeks for us to stop talking to each other. So that was just the end of it. I have not spoken to him since. I have not seen him since. I moved to another city, so unless I mean, I've been to Saks a couple of times while I was out here, and I didn't see him in there, so I don't know. But that's basically it. That is the story of how I found out that the guy I was dating was married, and how he tried to gaslight me, because that's gaslighting. He tried to gaslight me, and I just realized that. Yeah, but I mean, it's a lesson learned. It wasn't the first time I've been lied to. Wouldn't be the second time. I mean, it wouldn't be the last time I'll be lied to. It just is what it is at this point. But don't be trying to slander me in the comments talking about me dating married men, because I ain't doing it no more. I ain't doing it no more. No married men, no kids, no nothing. I want my own nigga. I want my own man. So yeah, let's keep it cute in the comments, okay? Let's keep it cute in the comments, because I promise you, I'm not the first person to mess with somebody that's married, and I won't be the last. And the other people that mess with the married men, they be knowing that the men married, and they still do it anyway. They be knowing the men be married before they even get into the situationships that they get into. I had no idea. I was very taken aback. Maybe it was because I was young. I don't know. Luckily, we used protection the 2 times that we did it, so no babies, no diseases, no problems. Honestly, it's not even a body, because the body don't count. It was a sleeve on top of it, so the body don't count. And y'all know what Drea said, your wholeness can get deleted. So that was a moment for me, and honestly, it happened when I was 22. Once I hit 25, my body started over, period. That's how I feel about it. Once you hit 25, your body's reset. That's the new rule. Every 5 years your body count reset. That's the new rule. Girl, my mama be watching these videos. She know her child. But y'all don't need to know her child. Y'all don't need to know how many bodies I got, y'all. As far as y'all know, I got one. Now, if you want to believe that or not, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But I got one body. Period. So yeah, that's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. I hope Kevin is out there living his best life with whoever he living his best life with. Unfortunately, it wasn't about to be me. I miss him. Not actually him. I miss things they used to do for me. I got princess treatment. Everybody loves princess treatment. But let me stop rambling. That is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. You can comment below, but again, keep the comments cute because I'll block you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.